Hi, this is part of my series of videos on getting things lined up. Now, in my creating a border part 1, I showed you how to mark out this sheet with some guidelines on it that I'm using to line things up when I want to do my foiling. And in this video I'm going to use a page from a Hunkydory little book, and I'm going to use Crafter's Companion border die, but I'm going to foil with the back of this die. So for this technique I need thin metal shim. Now this is only 0.3mm thick. My one is from a company called Crafts 2, Scrappy Cat Crafts on eBay, and Cottage Cutz. Those brands also do 0.3mm thick metal shims. Okay, so you need one of those, and I like to put a sheet of 300 GSM card underneath mine, and I'll show you how that goes. Let's bring my GoPress platform across. There we are. So the sheet of card goes inside the white plastic area, and then the metal shim goes on top. Okay, and it means the metal shim gets fully supported in the middle and the heat comes through quite nicely in that configuration. I'm going to put that back on the base unit to warm up. Okay, and then I'm going to foil by having that going down onto that plate the right way up. So I'm going to need a piece of foil. I don't want it too much wider than my die because I don't want to get over foiling. So let's take a strip of foil, now if I wanted this lined up either with the straight edge against the edge of the little book page or the scallops, then I could just use that as my straight edge and line up to it. But I want to bring this in. I want to kind of foil it, yeah, about there, to create an accent strip. So I'm going to use my layout guide. I've got a magnetic sheet underneath because that helps stop my die from keep moving around. So because I want to foil down this side, I'm going to put my book so that it's got its outside edge up against my guideline here, and then I'm going to put my die down. And actually I could either use a ruler for this, or I can just use the die because it's long enough on here, but if it wasn't, I can use a ruler, line that up with my lines that I've drawn. Helps if the ruler's the right way up. There we are, and then I can push my die up against that, and then I can be absolutely certain that die is straight parallel with the edge of that little book. But I haven't put my foil under, so let's do that. Strip of foil. Now that's wide enough, should be. Actually I might cut another strip that's just a bit wider. Because that piece I've got there, it's okay at one end but not at the other. But I'll use that in a later video, I'm sure. Right, so foil. And that needs to be able to sit just under my ruler. Go on there. Put the ruler on so I can line up the die to it. then because I've got a magnetic sheet underneath, my die doesn't want to slip around too much. So I can take my hands off, get some tape. Now I can see my little book sticking out from the side of the foil on one side and on the other. So I can take a piece of tape and I can stick down so that I stick the foil and the die to my page. Move it out of the way. Do some further down as well, and perhaps go to the other side. Okay, now the Hunkydory little books are coated paper, so whilst they're quite thin, they should take the foil quite easily. So I'm going to put that on the GoPress. I haven't tried this before with this die, so you're seeing the result for the first time with me. So just to recap, on my GoPress I've got a thin metal plate, very thin metal plate, and a sheet of card. Now, just to make sure no one's confused, let me grab this. This hefty lump of metal here is the Couture Creations adapter plate that they're selling with the GoPress. I'm not using that, I'm using a much thinner metal shim. If you try and use this with this technique, you'll create something that's too thick to go through your die cutting machine. You'll either hurt yourself, damage the die cutting machine, or damage the GoPress, or it just won't go through. So I'm not using that one, that's put to one side. That's for their specialist cut and foil dies that they're just about bringing out. I think they're available in Australia at the moment, possibly the USA. They're not available in the UK at this time. This is April 2018. So just put that to one side and keep it until they become available. They will be worth the wait. So I've got my thin metal shim and my page from my little book, and it goes on with the die facing upwards, so flat onto the metal plate. And we're going to be putting pressure through the foil onto the page that way. That's why you need the metal shim underneath. Okay, so that my lid of my GoPress, it's got a few minor scratches, but it hasn't got any really deep grooves on it. I don't want the die to make a mess of that, so I'm going to find a piece of card that I can just kind of sacrifice to the cause. That piece will do. It's got kind of embossed. Oh, I need a bigger piece. Okay, let's use one of these green. No, I need a bigger piece. Let me find a bigger piece of card. So whenever I do a foiling experiment and it doesn't quite work, I missed a bit there, I keep the pieces of card to use as shims and to use to protect my plates and all that kind of thing. So just one of those onto there, and then that does need to warm up quite well before you run it through the die cutting machine. So back onto the base. The red light's flashing, so I'm going to make sure that's gone back to green before that goes through the die cutting machine, and then I'm going to roll nice and slowly. I'm going to pause while we're waiting for that. So here I am back from the die cutting machine. So there's my shim. There's a page from my little book. Leave that there for a second. Put this back on the platform to stay warm. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Peeling the foil back, putting the tape back, And at this end, kind of holding it all down while I peel the tape. Helps to stop your tape suddenly rocking your card and causing a crease. So the foil has kind of adhered to the card, so that's a good sign. There we go. So there's a few places where the foil hasn't adhered, so I might try that again with maybe a bit more pressure, maybe just rolling it a few more times to try and get a better result. There we go. But there we go. So you can, it is lined up straight with the edge. I see it better that way up. And I probably wouldn't have got that right doing it by eye. I'd have taken the foil off and looked at it and gone, oh, it's crooked. So you need to experiment, as I say, different papers, different dyes, different foils even, and see what results you get. I might try that again on the other side as an experiment, see what happens. So I'll do that. I'll put an extra shim in and show you the result. Right, so I didn't bore you with watching me stick this back down, so I use 2 shims this time. And my tape is stuck to my shim, so just a thin strip of card for the extra shim, and there's that. Move that out of the way, back onto the base, make sure it's plugged in. Okay, so I used an extra shim, and that's fallen off, and I wound it through the die cutter 4 times. So it's always difficult to judge. If you use too many shims, you can end up with overfoiling, and if you wind too many times, again you can end up with overfoiling. So it is a matter of experimenting and finding the best combination. There, that's done a much better job that time. So, oops, decorative edges on my Hunkydory little book. I could go all the way around if I wanted to. Do the top and the bottom. And then I could use the same die cut that, and I'd end up with a silver edge on it that was also shaped. So perhaps I could do that as well, but I won't make you watch. I'll do that and show it in a later video. Okay, thanks for watching.